that's it. From my standpoint, so I strongly support indemnification, and I've said this before, for all current, past city commissioners and mayors, especially with our salaries. Mr. Harper also sent the council a memo dated June 20th, 2024, and there's many nuances in the memo, but his summary, item number 12, says, I think it would be prudent for us to request an opinion of the Attorney General and of the Office of the State Comptroller to address the specific facts of our case and our specific city code section 9.1. So it's my position that we should table this and get that opinion.
Sorry, you're citing an old memo, and he sent one today?
Today's memo was on the recusal. That was, the memo on June 20th was on.
Does his memo today say that we need to pay this bill? So why are you citing an old memo?
Well, I mean, we
Stop. I'm going to.
Sure. So, again, the memo today was about recusal. And again, I just repeat it, and I'll read it again if you want me to. But he makes a difference between separate and apart from any other questions, such as the choice of counsel, the time spent by counsel, and the amount of legal fees occurred. Going back to the June 20th memo, the conclusion was it would be prudent for us to get an Attorney General and Office of State Comptroller opinion.
I just think, rather than us going back and forth about what we think, I would rather just hear from Dave himself, who's sitting in the front row, about whether or not we need to pay this bill. I appreciate what you think. You're not a lawyer. I appreciate what you think. You're also not our lawyer. You happen to be our lawyer.
Do you want to address that?
What is the exact?
The exact question
Is
is
it
whether
your
or not
opinion that we need to pay this bill?
I'm sorry, we're both talking.
Is it your opinion that we need to pay this bill?
It's my opinion that you have the authority to pay the bill
Legally.
legally. Does that answer your question?
No. Number 4 says the obligation of the city to provide events is found in Code Section 9.1 and in some cases Public Officers Law Section 18. It says we have an obligation to pay this bill. Okay, so yes, the answer to the question is yes, we have an obligation to pay the bill.
Well, I think we're ignoring the question of reasonable.
Sorry. I want to hear from him. You're also not a lawyer. I'm not being rude. I'm just saying this is a legal question. You're not a lawyer about reasonableness either. He is. So let's hear from him about it. So you believe we are obligated to pay?
Your question was, should you pay the bill? And my answer was, you have the authority to pay the bill. I think Commissioner Moran was posing as a rhetorical that does the city have the obligation to pay the bill? And I do think the city has the obligation to pay for outside counsel.
And then the reasonableness question
There's the
has come up.
800-pound gorilla.
What is your opinion on that?
Well, there's an old proverb that there's honor among thieves. And therefore, I, who in my private practice charge X dollars an hour, am not going to critique another attorney who charges Y dollars an hour.